Hey everyone, we're making quesadillas today. The first thing we're doing is creating a sauce for our quesadillas. So we're roasting our peppers back here on an open flame, and we're kind of blackening our tomatillos on a heavy bottom cast iron pot. And we're just getting them caramelized, and we want to get all the juice out of those tomatillos to make a nice green salsa to put on our quesadillas. So after caramelization, we're going to just let them roast in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes until all the juice comes out of them, so that we can kind of mix the juice with the fiber and the skins to create an actual good tasting sauce. Just want to talk about these corn cobs a little bit. If you save these, you can make corn chowder or cream corn or any type of corn soup you want. Actually, if you just put these corn cobs in here and added broth or water and let it simmer for a long time, a lot of flavor would come out of these corn cobs, and you would have your own like corn chowder from just these ingredients we put into the pot. So save these, don't throw them away. So we have all our veggies in here, garlic and spices into our pan for our saute, and then we're putting in everything else all at the same time because they all take about the same time to cook, and they're all cut about the same size. So that's key when you're making a quesadilla. You don't want to have like a big chunk of something because you want to get all those different flavors in one bite with the cheese as well. This doesn't really work. So we're heating up our tortilla here. These are just straight corn tortillas. There's a whole nutrition lesson we can talk about when we're talking about tortillas, corn versus flour, when we're talking about breads, whole wheat versus just plain whole wheat. But you start by putting cup side down to heat it up, and then we'll turn it. And it's very hot. And we're putting our mozzarella on just as a melty cheese, because mozzarella doesn't really have that much flavor. But we're putting it on just so that we can get our meltiness and have our veggies stick together. Then we'll put cotija on at the very end to add sharpness, because that's what you're really looking for in a cheese. You're looking for meltiness and sharpness. And with mixing the cheeses when you're making quesadillas, that's how we do it. There's always a tortilla that has like a little cup, and you want to put your cheese on the inside of that cup, almost like this pan. So we're using cheeses in our recipe and yogurt instead of sour cream. The reason we're using yogurt instead of sour cream is because sour cream, it has a lot more fat than it does protein. Whereas if you get yogurt, even if it's 5% milk fat, there is way more protein, double the amount of protein when there is fat. And the same thing is true with our cheeses here. So if you look at the nutrition facts on cheeses, you want to get cheeses that usually have more protein than they do fat, which is true for cotija, and it is true for mozzarella that's called low moisture part skim mozzarella. So it has 5 grams of fat and 7 grams of protein in our mozzarella, and in our cotija, it has 7 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein. And so that's what you want to look for when you're buying cheeses. You want to get cheeses that have more protein than fat. And if you can't do that, if your favorite cheese doesn't have that, you want to get as close as you possibly can to that. So if it's 8 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein, or 7 grams of protein and 8 grams of fat, as close as you can get to making the fat and protein be equal, the better the cheese is for you.
Use and don't, I love it. There's a lot of don'ts so
There's a
far.
lot of dudes.
This is all because Vivian.